Conversation. That's a beautiful energy between two people. It's a lovely word that itself means the energy exchange between two people talking about anything. Now, what are we talking? What exactly is conversation? How can that conversation be utilized for the highest good, for self evolution, for connecting with one's soul? Can we ever remain without any conversation? Is it possible? Conversation is a constant, continuous process. It constantly happens. A person communicates, converses, talks with his family members, goes on, then he talks with his neighbors, friends, colleagues, almost with everyone. And he also ends up talking with even unknown people at times. Because it's just that two strangers sitting in a train or a flight or a bus or anywhere, we end up talking to each other, wishing and talking and asking about each other. Well, that is a conversation. And beyond that, we end up having conversation with even with God. But what is that conversation we do with God? Most of the time, I hear from people having conversation with their creator, their deities, about complaints, or maybe even gratitudes. So, conversation with God is most of the time either asking, demanding, complaining, or getting into self pity and saying, "Oh, God, you haven't looked at me, or you haven't supported me," whatever way. So, the conversation, even with God, with your creator, with your father, mother, God, is not something which is new to anyone. But the reason here I'm explaining about conversation is conversation with self. That is important. How many of us have tried that? Conversation with oneself. That is what matters. Because the more you converse with yourself, you know yourself better. That is your priority. That is what leads you to the journey of the soul. We talk so much to the outside world, to our relationships with whom we are connected or not connected, but we forget to talk with our own self. We talk with our creator, not knowing who that creator is, how exactly he is, how he has created me, what is the expectation that I should have with me. Because we all follow something that we have learned from childhood and have our own image of God, heaven, and the path that we believe in. And slowly, sometimes we become very fanatic about that also. So, the conversation between me and God, you and God, is something which most of us do. But conversation with oneself is what matters. That is what makes you a very different person. Now, in that entire conversation with yourself, who is silently observing you? It's your soul who is observing you. You're talking to your own body. Begin with your body, begin with your system. It could be your nervous system, it could be your organs, it could be your skin, it could be your entire body. Just communicate. For that, you need to develop that kind of faith that yes, your body is listening. Why are you talking to a stranger? Why are we getting into conversation, long conversations with our family members, whether it helps or not? It's just because we get used to conversation. We get used to a certain talking. Most of it could be a wasteful talking also. Just because we see physical ears of that person, or just because the other person pretends or really understands what we talk to, we get into a long conversation which consumes entire time. And time is your life. The time that you've got is what your life is all about. And that should be guided by the soul, by deep purpose, rather than, you know, wastefully spending the time. So if you're talking to your own self, then your soul is the observant. He observes, he guides, he witnesses. So the soul is no he or she, but that consciousness of yours, which is inside you, is observing your communication. But why is that we talk less with our own body? Just because we don't believe that the body organs carry 2 ears like us. Body organs do not need physical ears like us, but they have their inner intelligence. So you need to communicate, converse, talk to the body organs. That's how the first step takes place. And then you slowly sit down while you meditate peacefully, have a simple conversation. Each day, put one particular question to yourself and try to find answers within. And that answer might come in any form to you, and put that answer inside you and say, is that what I was looking forward? Is this answer is something that I was searching for as a solution? Has it come to me? So you'll automatically understand whether, your conversation with your own self has helped you or not. And your conversation day by day makes you stronger. Your willpower increases. You have better understanding of yourself. And then only you can understand others without any judgment, without any criticism. Otherwise, all the conversation that has led each one of us to whatever planetary years we are, most of it would have been useless conversation, which ends up in bickering, judgmental talks, in draining out either one's energy or others' energies, critical communication. All this is absolutely wasteful energy. So true conversation begins with your own self. Try from this moment, go into deep silence, the minimum time you can take, whatever is, that you can comfortably spend with your own self. As we say, who is the best company? You, yourself, is the best company for you. Nobody else from outside can give me companionship, because it's my body which is my companion first, which is my soul that is a partner of this entire journey. So, this conversation with the self is very important spiritual tool. I hope that helps you and serves your purpose of self quest. And I'm sure that this will lead you towards a better understanding for everyone. Love you, dear ones. Bye bye.